Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is intel. I've got some intel that says that the arrest date is getting really close. We're going to talk about the date. But before I get started, let me just say on a personal note, Prophecy Club started in June of 1993. In case you haven't heard this story, I just want to talk to you as a friend for here just a minute. So I had been doing these courses, public speaking courses, sales courses, management courses for 13 years. And in the background, I'm a prophecy student and prophecy teacher. And this radio station called one day and said, we are getting up a new station in the Topeka area. It's been dark, is what he said. And I said, what's dark? He said, it's been off the air for 2 years. And we're trying to bring it back as a Christian station. Wanted to know if you would support Jack L. Frost to be on the program. I said, who's Jack Frost? And well, actually, he said Jack Frost. And I said, isn't that the snowman? Which is correct. He said, no, Jack L. Frost. Well, come find out when he said L, then I remembered that I'd been a supporter of this guy that teaches Bible prophecy. He's gone to be on with the Lord now. But I said, all right, yeah, I'll help him. Long story short, he called back in about 5 minutes and said, well, he didn't want to be on the program. He didn't want to be on this station. Said I should invite you to be on the station. So how'd you like to do a 15-minute program of Bible prophecy? And that started Prophecy Club. Now, I say that because I look at how faithful you folks are. And you've been faithful. I mean, I look at, okay, so we might not have too many people listen to us, but it's the same ones that go and listen to our program every day. So I just wanted to say thank you, which is why I'd like to meet you. I'd like to have you come to the PhD conference, as we call it, the Prophecy Healing Deliverance Conference. I think it's September 11 through 13, prophecyclub.com. I'd like to meet you, I'd like to hug you, shake your hand, and get to know you a little bit. We're going to have some time there to, eat together and fellowship together. And so, I'd like to meet you. You folks, especially ones that follow us pretty much every day and pretty much every year. And so I'd like to meet you. So, point is, I've been doing this a long time. And thank you. And I'd like to meet some of the people that are watching. Anyway, our topic is intel. I've got some intel that says the arrest dates are really close. But before I get to it, I made 2 programs with Jonathan Rose. One is talking about the Genius Act. You need to understand this. But the most recent program, if you look behind me, is talking about crypto. Now, to tell you the truth, I didn't really know, probably most of you didn't know that much about crypto and what's the difference between digital currency and crypto and Bitcoin and XRP and all that sort of stuff. He does a wonderful job of goes through and explains it. And since I was kind of a blank sheet of paper on it, I asked lots of questions. So I would suggest you go to prophecyclubcrypto.com. prophecyclubcrypto.com. Now, here's the difference. Gold and silver is what you put your money into, not to make money, but to keep from losing money. You do that when you think the stock market is going to crash, when you think that the dollar is going to go to zero, down a third, down to zero, then you put it into gold and silver so you won't lose it. Like he says, it's really not gold and silver is not about making money. It's about don't lose money. But he says crypto, and he explains in the program that I posted yesterday, crypto, in his opinion, is one of the biggest opportunities to make money that he's seen in a long time. And he explains to you how they've got it set up to reduce your liability in losing your money. Now, there are a few places you can put your money in where you're not going to lose it. Most of the time, the greater the greater the opportunity for gain, the greater the risk of loss normally. But he'll explain to you in the program It's talking about crypto. You might want to go watch that, especially if you want to make money instead of just keeping your money from. And I don't know. I mean, I can't give financial advice. I mean, I really can't. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a prophecy guy. But I do want to see all of you do well. That's why I'm inviting you to the Prophecy Healing Deliverance Conference. It's also why I'm sending you now to prophecyclubcrypto.com. Go and see. See if they've got something. Maybe part of your gold or your silver or part of the money, and maybe it's some stock market, some money you got someplace. Maybe you'd like to see part of it, maybe even half of it, who knows how much, put into something that can make money. Now, I do know, and the prophecies confirm, that we are coming to the greatest financial change in human history. As I told you, June 27th of 2008, that was the night that the Lord spoke to me, audible voice that said, Stan, I will give you the money to drill the well in Israel. My opinion is, I think that money is coming this year. The problem is, I've been thinking that money is coming every year since 2008. So I don't know. But I think, just my opinion, again, I'm not giving financial advice, my opinion is probably how I will get that money has to do with them bringing in the new system, the crypto. So when the Genius Act got passed, a lot of people saying some bad things about it. Well, there is a bad part of digital because eventually the devil's going to take it over, and that's going to be the mark of the beast system. But it won't be in the beginning stages. It will be what he says is the greatest opportunity to make wealth, at least in a long time. So, again, I can't give financial advice, but go check out prophecyclubcrypto.com. All right. So, before we get into our big topic of arrests, I want to remind you, I've got one article I want to show you. Remember, Dmitry was told that some of the people will start fighting against the government. That's one of the signs that the Russians are about to attack. I don't think it's here yet, but I do see it heating up. This article says, clinic staff arrested after blocking ICE from detaining illegal migrant who fled into a facility. Okay, here's the situation. So the ICE officers conducted a targeted enforcement operation, and when they went in their clearly marked ICE bulletproof vests and approached this illegal alien, a couple of them, as they exited a vehicle, they ran into a local Ontario Advanced Surgical Center place it was just the closest place. When they got stopped, they ran in there. Well, the staff there went to bat for these and fought against the ICE officers. So the staff assaulted law enforcement, drug officer, and illegal alien in the facility. The staff attempted to obstruct the arrest by locking the door, blocking law enforcement vehicles from moving, and even calling the cops, claiming they were kidnapping the person. The video of the incident shows staff yelling at the agents, saying, "This is private property, get your hands off," and she allegedly put her hands on the ICE agent and physically wedged herself between him and the illegal immigrant. That's some of the people start fighting against the government. That's my only point on that. Keep watching this. I don't think that's the prophecy talking about it. I think it's going to be a lot worse. Matter of fact, what I think is when the massive arrests, we're not talking about illegal aliens. We're talking about senators, congressmen, well-known, maybe former presidents, okay? When people that everybody know, all of a sudden in 24 to 48 hours, many of them, not all of them, they can't get all of them that fast, but some 500,000, some 500,000 sealed, I've talked about this, 500,000 sealed indictments all get arrested. Wow. And some of those are very beloved people. Now, they're very corrupt and they've done some very, very bad things in the dark, but in the light, a lot of people like them, okay? Look at the devil, okay? He's done a lot of bad stuff, but a lot of people like him, okay? So a lot of people like these people. So I'm saying keep watching this because we're going to see more people fighting against the government. All right, now, also, we're getting close again. I hate to bring this up. Getting close again in our account. So if God has blessed you and you can help, please do so. Enough of that. So, when do the massive arrests begin? What's the intel I have? White hats must start arrests to avoid French Revolution-style bloodbath in the West, says Benjamin Fulford. And I had a video sent to me this week, and I can't talk about it, but it's further confirmation on things I've been saying. See, as I said, I know some things. I'm under a signed agreement, a non-disclosure agreement. I can't talk about it. And I've given them permission to monitor my emails, my cell phone, my everything. And they have confirmed to me they are monitoring me. So I can't talk about it. But what I can talk about is things I know to be true from this other thing, which is where I think I'm going to get the money drilled a well in Israel, okay? From this other thing, I know it to be true, but I can't say it. But I can read something for someone else that's either saying it or getting close to it. Read between the lines. Benjamin Fulford says, public anger in the West against our governments is reaching a boiling point. Just made that point. This means either the military police do their jobs and arrest the criminals, okay, who hijack civilian governments, or else face bloody anarchy, internal revolution. This is no longer a fringe view, it's a majority view in the military and the law enforcement agencies. What are they saying? It's saying that the military and the law enforcement agencies see people fighting against them. They feel the problem, and they know we're heading to an internal revolution. That's what it's saying, but there's more. Law enforcement agencies, as we mentioned last week, they have been issued a writ of mandamus, which is a court order demanding they enforce the law as is their duty. We are now hearing that long overdue action will begin in, here it is, September. Now, I got a video 6 minutes long, and no, I can't say what was on it. I can't talk about it at all. But I will say it came from a former senator. It's credible. And what I'm telling you is that this information I'm giving you here, you can count on it. That's what I'm trying to say. Let me read it again. We are now hearing that long overdue action will begin in September. What's he saying? He's saying arrests will start in September. Now, does that mean they start in September? No. They might be delayed, but then something might happen. They might be speeded up. But what it's saying is, it's saying they're not long. It's not far off. It's no more over the horizon. It's not even at the end of the block. It's dropping mail in our mailbox, and they're about to be ringing doorbells. The Epstein case will be the trigger for this overdue action. Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino says, during my tenure here as the Deputy Director of the FBI, what I have learned in the course of our properly predicated and necessary investigations into these aforementioned matters, Epstein, has shocked me down to the core. We cannot run a republic like this. We'll never be the same after what I have learned. I don't think he's talking about Epstein. I think he's talking about somebody showed him 500,000 indictments, sealed indictments, arrest warrants. Somebody showed him the video of very well-loved, beloved, very popular people and some of the very, very, very bad things they've done. I think he saw the underside of the belly. And he's saying we can't run a public like this. We can't let it go on. We can't. He says we're going to conduct these righteous and proper investigations by the book and in accordance with the law. Okay, but after the investigations are done, what happens? The answer? Arrests. See, I think I have an audible voice that says the arrests are coming because I heard 4 words. Massive arrests. So to me that confirmed, yep, massive arrests are coming. Let's go. CIA Director John Radcliffe. What? He's the CIA director. This is the guy that has taken over after John Brennan and what's the other guy? That, in other words, he is now in the position to know the dastardly deeds that their predecessors have done. John Radcliffe suggests indictments and potential prosecutions are coming for Hilary Clinton, James Comey, John Brennan. And I was reading an article this morning, and I chose not to put into it, but this article on Gateway Pundit was saying Obama can be arrested and prosecuted. And to that I say, the Trump administration appears set to bring those orchestrated of the greatest hoaxes in American history to justice. Guys, that's not just an investigation. That's arrests. That's Gitmo. That's Diego Garcia. That's Alligator Alcatraz. Why do you think Trump is opening up the old Alcatraz? Why do you think that they are putting billions of dollars into building new prisons? Why do you think that they've made arrangements with El Salvador for El Salvador to start holding American U.S. citizens in their jails? Because a bunch of people are about to be arrested. And it's going to make a lot of people mad, and that's going to start the internal revolution, in my opinion. Gabbard released her second batch of previously undisclosed documents on Wednesday morning. These documents include more proof that Barack Obama directly gave the order to publish the Russia collusion hoax, knowing there was no proof to back it up. In other words, what it's saying is that Barack Obama tried to overthrow President Trump. That's what it's saying. Bottom line. Page 3 of this latest document shows that the then President Obama ordered the release of documents knowing that there was no evidence to back them up. Obama didn't just know about the Russia hoax, he directed it. All to delegitimize Trump's historic win. In other words, he was trying to overthrow a president of the United States. Okay, so wait a minute. What that's saying is a president of the United States was trying to overthrow his replacement. Predecessor is trying to overthrow his replacement. What should happen to someone like that? Well, I can't tell you. It's not my place to tell you, but ought to be justice. CIA Director John Radcliffe indicates indictments and potential prosecutions are, okay, when it says prosecution, what's that mean? That means arrests, okay? John Brennan, James Comey, Hilary Clinton, Trump, Russiagate conspiracy, justice to bring fair and just claims against those who have perpetrated this hoax against the American people, this stain on our country. Radcliffe confirmed that more evidence is going to be released about Clinton. Trump administration greenlights $1.26 billion for Fort Bliss Detention Hub to tackle illegal immigration surge. What's he doing? He's building places to put Hillary Clinton and the others. The Trump administration announced a $1.26 billion contract to build the largest migrant... No. It's not for migrants. Yeah, they need some help with migrants. But this is for James Comey, okay, those guys, John Brennan. 1.12 million acres near the U.S.-Mexico border and including an airport. The facility is designed to house up to 5,000 James Comeys. That's what it's really saying. The federal government is indeed pursuing all available options to expand bed space capacity. This process does include housing detainees at certain military bases. Okay. You see, the news doesn't understand the future. They don't know massive arrests are coming, so they call them detainees. But we call them bad people being arrested. So it goes on to say, it established a new deportation centers at what? Military bases. Why military bases? Because it's not the civil, it's not the police, it's not sheriffs, it's not ICE going to be arresting these people. It's going to be Marines and Army. because Trump is going to sign the Insurrection Act, I believe, which gives the power and authority then to use the U.S. military against U.S. citizens. They have to take them to military bases for the military tribunal. And then when the 3-judge tribunal says you're guilty, the sentence is carried out pretty quickly. And my guess, it's going to be some pretty harsh sentences on some of these people. 60 additional facilities have been added to the list of Did you catch that? 60 additional facilities have been added to the list of locations used to house not just illegal immigrants, James Comey, Hilary Clinton. Yeah, I can't prove that. Maybe they're good people, okay? So I'm not beating up on them. I have no proof. I'm just repeating what I've heard. Allocating military space. See, it says military space twice. Now, if arrests are soon to take place, here are some things we would start seeing. We would start seeing expansion of prisoner lockups, like we are. We'd start seeing things like Alcatraz, the old Alcatraz reopening, like we have. New military zones and borders to catch fleeing suspects, as we have seen. Military tanks equipment prepositioned, yes, that's happened. Military National Guard activated, Supreme Court has approved Trump's authority to use military and National Guard June 14th. Is it close? I think it is. Trump says work begun on reopening the original Alcatraz after alligator Alcatraz visit. So he's already working on reopening the original Alcatraz in California. The conceptual work started 6 months ago. This was 6 months ago. It was closed in 1963. Various prison development firms are looking into doing it as we speak. So what you need to know, what a symbol is and what it will be. This reopening of Alcatraz is saying we're getting close to this. He's directing his government to reopen and expand Alcatraz, house America's most ruthless and violent offenders. The Rock once housed some of the nation's most notorious criminals, and it's about to house some more notorious criminals. Think about it. In 2021, I started making bread, and long story short is I believe God showed me that wheat is God's famine food, just like it was famine food back in the 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine, days of Pharaoh and Joseph. And I believe that that's what God has planned to feed his people. And you get it by going to josephskitchen.com. 3 steps. First, you want to get a machine package. Second, you want to order 6 ingredients and watch some videos, download the recipes to be able to make the bread. josephskitchen.com. Most of your long-time storage food, emergency food, all of that, typically are talking $9,000, $10,000 to feed one person for a year. Joseph Kitchen can show you how to do it for around $1,000 a person, and your kids will actually eat it, and it's actually good for you. Here's some bread that I made. In my case, I lost weight, lowered my blood pressure, gives me more energy. I eat a morning, slice in the morning, slice in the afternoon. Always a slice before I go play racquetball. Go check it out, josephskitchen.com. When the suitcase nukes, I didn't say if, I said when the suitcase nukes go off, if you want your car to start, if you want your computers and your refrigerators and things like that, anything with a computer chip to work, you want to have one of these from EMPShield.com. EMPShield.com. And they have videos up there. It takes about 10 minutes to put on. It's not complicated at all. And if you use the word prophecy, promo code prophecy, you get a $50 discount, and it helps your prophecy club. I'm inviting you. I want you to come. I don't know another way to say it, but I want to meet you. I want to shake your hand. I want to hug your neck. I want to get to know some of these people that listen to Prophecy Club. So I'm asking you. I'm not just inviting you. I'm asking you to come. Yes, I know it may mean an air flight, a hotel, a couple of hotels. It may mean $200, $500, $1,000, depends on where you stay. But I want you to come to this. I'm asking you. I'm not just inviting you. I'm asking you to come. Come, introduce yourself to me. Many of you, I will recognize your name. Many of you have been following us for a long time. I'd like to meet you. Okay, so come to the Prophecy, Healing, and Deliverance Conference, September 11 to 14. Now, it's 6 seasoned ministers. We're going to be delivering 10 different talks over 2.5 days. Now, you can see the topics below, but today I'm going to just briefly touch on a couple of them. One is I've changed some of the things I'm talking on. Yes, I'm talking on the mark of the beast. Yes, I'm going to bring you some new insight. But I'm also, here's what happened this past Sunday. I brought a talk that I thought would be over most people's head. I was talking about secrets in ancient Hebrew, and I was shocked. Our congregation absolutely loved it. I had, 5 or 6 people come up to me and say how great it was. I've had at least 2 or 3 people ask me for copies of the PowerPoint, so I'm going to expand on that. There are some big secrets within ancient letter-level Hebrew, and you probably have never heard this before. I'm also going to be talking about my new book that hopefully will be coming out by the time we have this meeting. I'll hopefully have it there. And it's called The Pentecost Rapture of the Bride. I think God showed me a revelation. I mean, I've been I was pre-trib till 1999. Then I went total hard post-trib until he gave me a revelation. And it totally changed my perspective on the rapture. And I'm going to explain that at this meeting. Now, that's what I'm going to talk on. Let me briefly explain what Leslie's going to talk on. You can pause and read all of the topics, but basically, God told her she was an apostle recently, and the congregation all agreed. We bumped her up to apostle. And she's going to explain the role of a prophet, all of the things below, and I'm going to talk about it more in other programs that we'll have her on. But again, I'm asking you to come. I'm asking you to go to prophecyclub.com, right there, prophecyclub.com. Sign up to come. Sign up. I'd like to meet you, hug your neck, shake your hand, sign one of the books. If you have one of my books, or Leslie, sign one of her books. We're going to have them there. It's going to be, a time where you learn some things, but how about just a time of fellowship? How about a time where you get to meet me and Leslie, and we'll meet you, and we'll spend some good time together. We'll eat together. We'll have some fellowship together. So come to the Prophecy, Healing, Deliverance Conference. If you don't want to lose your life's savings, if you have an IRA or a 401k, the thing to do is call 800-200-GOLD. 800-200-GOLD. These folks are Christians, and they specialize in helping people not lose their life savings in the event of a stock market crash and things like that. Look, most of the 401ks, most of the IRAs are in paper, backed by paper, and as Lindsey Williams says, if it's in paper, it's worth the paper it's written on. You can lose it all. 1-800-200-GOLD. 800-200-GOLD.